real name was Irma Perlmutter, and she was a tough lady from Brooklyn. But the Texas one was the woman who, you cannot play a phony.
All right. Tell me that again.
Well, you cannot, if the character that you're playing is a phony, you cannot play her as a phony. You must play her as a real person. Her choices, for instance, the woman that I played as Dorelda Dorima, I wore double mink lashes, you know, and this white, blonde, platinum. Everything was overdone, you know. And so when I said, honey, do you believe? Come on now, tell me, come on now. You do believe, don't you? You can raise that right arm. Can you do that? Come on, come on now. You can do it. Oh, you can. How about that? Now, that has the same intention.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't.
Powerful.
You know that I'm a phony when I take the wig off and I go and I become Irma Perlmutter and say, get her out, you know. Get rid of it.
But you have to, what a delicate balance.
It is always a reality. If you came out not really believing your character, as an entertainer, the audience will not believe it.
Let me just pause for a second. This is Doris Roberts. I'm Dennis Tardan. Doris, you are, and this is reasonably spontaneous conversation, which we're doing right now with Angie in the current television show. So you are, for so long you've had the respect of your peers. And people within the business know what an incredible actress you are. And perhaps some of them even know what the places you could go as a director and the different things you could do. I want to maybe touch on that later. But now you're getting this national, you know, a national type. What's the difference there between having this national exposure and just this national respect rather than just the peer respect? I don't know if I'm phrasing it the way I want to.
Well, I'm enjoying every minute of it. I want to tell you. I find it wonderful. Sometimes it's frightening because there's something about the character of Teresa that people respond to very personally.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be 25 years, August, that I've been in this business, so it's not an overnight success story.
I understand that.
But when they approach me, it's with such warmth and affection, and they open their arms to me, or they want to kiss me or touch me. It is the wildest experience. I've never known that before. I have had people say, oh, I've seen your work and you were wonderful, or I enjoyed that on last night's show or something. And it's been a respectful thing, but this is more than that. I have become one of their family in a way. I'm either their mother or their sister or their aunt or their
You
wife.
have touched something within
I certainly have.
What is that? I mean, when you have a role and you touch someone in it, how much have you brought as a human being to that? I mean, did you see that the 25 years and all the work that you've put in to be able to play and to be able to touch that place within people?
I think what they're responding to is I'm attainable to them. I am not some actress that is on a pedestal and you cannot touch her. I look like them, I behave like them. The reality that I bring to the character when I play
the reality,
is what they respond to. They know me, and they feel they know me, and they don't feel that I'm an actress that you cannot touch, which is a wonderful, I think I'm very appreciative of that. A little frightening sometimes when somebody comes running at you and, hey!
And you are a touching person. I mean, you've reached out to me a couple of times, and even in the beginning, it was interesting. You reached out, and I saw you kind of hesitate. It's almost like at different times there has been. Have you always been open and reaching out? How have you done this and maintained and not been?
I think I think I reach out and touch people, but I don't know that I did that earlier on. I think I was too frightened to do that.
How have you overcome? How have you continued to grow, Doris? I mean, I see you as a very evolving person, continuing to grow in your own personality and secureness and happiness.
Several reasons. Just mileage is one. You know,
the odometer just turned.
It's a lot of mileage, honey. And it's not been all bad road, thank God. But
I don't feel that from you. I feel a lot of joy from you.
Well, this is new.
Is it?
This is new, yes, because prior to this, I used to be, well, I'm a survivor. You have to know. I really am a survivor. And to give you a clue, when I was 5 years old, I auditioned for the Hearns Amateur Hour on West 14th Street. That was a department store. And I sang a song called Winter Wonderland, and I lisped at the time, and it went something like, snow is glistening in the rain, rain is glistening, well, happy night. Well, I got the gong, the bell, the hook, I mean, you name it. You talk about trauma at
5 years old?
And I'm still here, you know. It's like
you
Stephen
are a
Sondheim.
survival, yeah.
Yeah, I am a survivor. I believe in what I do. I want to do what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I'm very grateful that I found something that I love to do. My son, who is 22 now, some years ago, we were having an argument. We still have arguments, I don't mean that, but that's okay. It's a good relationship, I think it's terrific. He said, what do you want from me? And I said, I don't want anything from you. I just hope that you find something in your life that really triggers you, that you love to do, because then it doesn't become work. And I love acting. I mean, that I get paid to act, oh man, am I happy.
And you say just lately, this joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? What triggered that? I mean, what? Not just. I know it's all a cumulative process, but what's?
Well, there are two things that have happened. One is I made a commitment to me.
Yeah.
Often you do all the right things for the wrong reasons.
Okay. I hear that.
Okay. We always think that the perfect time is going to happen. And when that perfect time happens,
then
it's all going to hit together and we're going to get out there and do it, right? There is no perfect time. This is the perfect time. Right now, at this moment. Nothing more than that. If you keep living in the past, you do three things. I mean, by that, I used to be this lady, so I know what I'm talking about.
All right, tell me about it.
I would either be so full of rage and anger that the world hasn't done for me what they should have done. You know, come on, it's 25 years.
For God's sake, hey.
Yeah. Same talent.
Yeah.
Same lady, you know. But I had a lot of rage and anger in me because I hadn't gotten that kind of recognition. Although I must tell you, I've starred on Broadway in several productions.
I understand that. You have
it was all wonderful. It was my peers who appreciated me. I have a wonderful reputation, but somehow it never just took off. You know, some crazy thing would happen. Or the other thing is that you are so guilty that you didn't do what you should have done, and that somehow you didn't put it all together.
An unworthiness.
All of those.
All those.
Bad scenes. Or the third, which is the worst, I think, is self-pity. I think self-pity has an odor to it. I mean,
yeah, it's an attractive odor at times. I mean, love wallowing in it.
You do, but not your friends.
Yeah,
not the world.
Oh, that's
I mean, if
truth.
you think about it, if you have a friend who's in a lot of self-pity and saying,
it's awful.
"Oh, it's just terrible that the world is not done for me what it should," you know, you avoid that person. I mean, that's the plague time. So those three things stop you from any kind of life flow. They just tighten you up. I mean, if you think of rage, just the whole body does that. Nothing flows out of you. You cannot accept or do anything with that kind of tension. And if you think of only tomorrow it's going to be better. Tomorrow the job's good. Tomorrow the phone will ring. Tomorrow the guy will walk into my life, or the woman, or whatever. You live in fear. You don't know what the hell tomorrow's going to bring. Yeah. So you spend all of those energies.
That could have been put. Not
in the now, not right now, not just doing the work. I mean, instead of, for instance, what we're doing right now, we're talking, we're sharing. We are not being concerned about cameras that are out there, lights, friends, people. We're just doing that.
Just letting...
But a little bit ago, we would have been very concerned and thought, oh, I have to face camera and talk to the people. No, I am talking to you. And
I feel that
we share that kind of thing. That's the only way to deal with life. It is the only way. I mean, I don't care what you're doing. Just do what's in front of you. I once had a woman who was cleaning my house, and she was very unhappy about being a maid, a cleaner, a domestic, whatever you want. I don't like the word domestic, because I once, fairly recently, watched a program in which the woman said, "I am not a domesticated animal." You know, you think of domestic. Okay. And so I don't agree with that word. She was very right. But the woman was very unhappy with what she was doing, and that was right. She didn't want to do that. And I said, well, why don't you do something else? However, in the meantime, do whatever it is you have to do well, or to the best of your ability. And you stop thinking, oh, well, who's behind me and who's ahead of me and what's that one doing, and oh, she's better off than I am. It gets you nowhere. Just do what's in front of you. You do that well, then the next thing happens. Then you decide, this is not what I want to do because I've done it to the best of my ability. There's something else I want to do. Then you try for the next. Your priorities become very clear. Your commitment to doing just that, whatever that is. You can be a lawyer, a housewife, a doctor, an actor, you know, a minister. It doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't matter at all.
What that is what you have to deal with. Because in doing that, you do that well. That then begins to feed your self-image, which is often in a lot of trouble.
Poor.
Yes.
God, I'm working with that.
Yeah.
You're talking into my life right now, and
But
this
you
is
see, I'm
exactly
talking to
the things
everybody's
that
life.
I am. That's the whole point of this program, is that we're a
If you
lot more
talk-
similar than we
I have
ever
a son
imagined.
who is a bright young man. He's terrified of taking exams. I mean, the tension that comes into that kid's head. Tomorrow, they get, you know. No, just do the work. Do the homework.
Can you talk to you are talking with me. If I was, though I'm much too old to be your son.
Oh, I don't know about
I'm
that.
31. But
Okay.
Can you talk with, what is it that being a mother makes it difficult to say the same things to a son that someone else might be able to say? What is it about, or in a relationship, in a husband-wife or a business partnership, what is that makes it difficult to communicate when you're close? Those same truths that you understand now.
One of the hardest things in the world to do, I think, as a parent, is to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because often what it sounds like is you're either preaching, or it sounds like a demand, you know, that you're telling them what to do. It's hard to believe, it's hard for children and parents to understand that it is a sharing, you know, of each other's lives. I would like to share with him what I have learned, and I do, and I try to, and I think it's happening.
Hard.
Hard.
Sure.
Hard, you know, but he has taught me a lot of things too. When he was a young teenager, his room was just a mess, and it really would drive me crazy, and I'd say, get it clean, because I didn't like that. And he came at me one night and he said, now listen, we have to talk. I said, okay. He said, you want me to clean that room? I'm going to clean the room, but I have to clean it in my tempo. So you want me to clean it in your tempo, and your tempo is, you know, just quick. My tempo is, bung, you know. It's true.
I hear you.
We have different tempos.
Yeah.
I think most relationships have a lot of problems about that, because we expect the other person to do it in our tempo. It's a teaching process, and you have to teach yourself that the other person has his or her own tempo, and they must not do it in my tempo or your tempo.
Or it will be different. It's like doing someone else's material.
I couldn't do it in his tempo.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it in you know. I do have a different kind of tempo, and that's something he taught me, and I love that, because
how did you get in touch with your own tempo? Yeah, I'm feeling you are. I mean, this is getting back to the place. Did something happen to you to get you in? Because this philosophical place that I feel you in, this direction in your life, is the same place that I felt when I've studied any of the great philosophies of the world, whether it be Hinduism or Christianity or any of them, or Plato or whatever. They're all talking about the same thing, getting in tune with themselves. What did you do?
Well, again, I keep talking about knowledge, but it's accumulations of many things.
It wasn't something recently that happened?
Yes, a couple of years ago, my son was in a water skiing accident. He broke his neck in 3 places. He's fine. I mean, really fine. Keep touching wood. But up to that point, you know, I think my life was in all different directions. It was successful, but I didn't have a peace that you now are talking about. A kind of serenity that I'm pretty well content with being just Doris, right here, right now. not someplace else.
It's made you very attractive, hasn't it?
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, you can tell by the people around you and the people and your friends and this, can't you?
But most important, I think I'm attractive.
Yeah, of course.
And by that, I'm not even talking about outer, trappings, because the truth of it is that I'm overweight. I mean, those are truth things.
Yeah.
The truth of it is that I should do more about it than I do, and I will. When it gets to me, I don't live...
You're satisfied with yourself right now.
Here, right now. No more than that.
Period.
I really am living right in the now. Because I used to live in, like I said, yesterday or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I just spent all of that energy, which is a lot of energy.
Damn right.
See, energy going in all directions means nothing. Vitality is energy put into a place, into a little tunnel going in specific directions, When it's like acting. Energy all over the place means nothing. But energy directed becomes vitality, and it has a life force that nothing can stop. It makes it exciting, and it gives it a level that's just wonderful.
Sounds like you're ready to deal with the power that national exposure of this sort that a series gives, plus all the rest of the offers and all the rest of the things like going into directing for yourself and doing this. It sounds like that you're ready to accept this, where before, when you were going, why isn't it coming to me? You wouldn't have been ready to.
It's again the
seems
word
like things
commitment.
come in at the
Commitment. I keep saying that. A commitment to life, whatever that brings. See, I say a little prayer every morning. I never did this before. My kid got hurt. I think I'm a spiritual person. I don't know
I feel that.
about being a specific religious person. I don't have a
but
specific
that's a label.
Okay.
And your spirituality is who you are, not some label that you put on
I
it.
couldn't agree more. But I find that I get on my knees every morning and I thank whoever is listening to me for our health and our lives that are terrific. And then I say, help me accept this day as it comes. Nothing more than that. See, most of the time we say, okay, now today we're going to make it. Today I'm going to call that agent, and today I'm going to get on that show, and today I'm going to do it, and tomorrow's going to... You cannot, I can assure you, you cannot make anything happen. Life will happen all by its own little way. You cannot. The only thing you can do is the work in front of you. Whatever that, I keep saying it, whatever that, that's the commitment. And that commitment to life is wonderful. And there's so many, people say, how did you, when I do interviews, they say, how did you start in show business and all that? And I think, that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is who I am now, at this moment. And I talk about being past 40 and flourishing. In myself, I'm flourishing. I have a terrific feeling about myself. I hope, some people say, oh, can you stand being with a series for 7 years? I said, I can't live in that. I don't know what 7. I only know now. Can I stand being in a series now at this moment? Of course I can. So long as life is that kind of a challenge in my work, I'm as happy as could be. I love the challenge of the work. I don't mean about having to make the money to, pay the rent. I don't mean that challenge. That's something. That's to survive, And that's okay, because I've done that. There was a period of time when, I swear to you, I could not get arrested in New York at all. And I worked. Didn't make any difference. I was married to someone else at the time, and my son's father, to be exact. And I would work at 11:30 at night after my husband came home, who was an attorney. At 11 o'clock at night or 11:30, I would first go up to the actor's studio and work until 3 o'clock in the morning. Then come back and go to sleep and get up and deal with my child and my husband and my life. But I constantly kept after my work. That was my commitment, But now, when I think of being past 40 and flourishing, I think of women and men who really feel that their lives are obsolete in a sense, that they have no sense of the excitement of life, or again, they're bogged down by those three things about the rage and the guilt and the self-pity, about why they're not further along in life, instead of living in the now.
And just that one fact, regardless of what you were doing, whether you were president or whatever, changed your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely, totally.
I'm listening
I
as
mean,
clearly.
there are women out there who I would say, please get up and get off of your bum, you know. There's something in life that you can do.
So nothing has to change. Nothing, none of the
No, listen,
circumstance, that's the key.
Darling, the fantasy, you see, the fantasy that we all live with is that somehow if you go to a beauty parlor or get your hair cut and blown a different way, you're going to come out looking like, you know, Cheryl Teague or something. No, you're not. I'm going to have another haircut and another haircut. It's the same face, you know. I can't change it. I would love to cut it down and make it smaller. I'd love the eyes to be, you know, all kinds of things. That's going to be the same, no matter what the hell I do with it. It's going to, so I have to live in this. This person, Doris, has to feel good about herself. Once she does that, whatever relationship she has, she can deal with. The women and the men who feel that their lives are over, especially women who are past 40 who do not have any other kind of career. And their kids are grown and are either off to school or are married, and they sit around a coffee cup or sometimes the booze bottle, you know, saying, oh, well, what the hell, what's the point, you know. And if they think that way, they're right. There is no point. But that's not the way to think. And what I beg them to do is to get up and get out. Just get up and get out. If you get out there into the world some way, find something that either triggers you, that turns you on, you know. Or if you can't do it for yourself, do it for someone else. And a simple example, I have a mother-in-law who is 81, I believe, maybe 82. Terrific. Lives in Texas, is a wonderful lady. Still has her health and her sight and her mind. And she makes the most beautiful hooked rugs. Wonderful, out of old bathrobes, woolen bathrobes, or old socks, woolen socks. And she dyes her wool and all that. She's a lonely lady because her kids are off and gone.
Sure.
All she need do is write a little note on and put it on a bulletin board at some church that she might go to, or the local Safeway or whatever they have in Texas, and say, I will teach you how to hook rugs Thursdays from 2 to 4.
And bring people in and share this part.
You know what that would do to her life?
Incredible.
The fact that she's needed again, that she can share something with other people, and to learn to hook a rug is wonderful. It's an art, it's a craft that would die out if someone didn't teach you how to do it, you know. It's a perfect example of what you can do in life. If you cannot do it for yourself, do it for someone else, because it will return to you. It returns to you because you are giving information, you are sharing time, you feel good about that, you have a sense about yourself, you know.
You know, I was talking about, when you accept yourself as who you are right now, that is the truth. And the truth, whatever it is always beautiful. I feel that coming from you, a lot of truth that you have made peace with the people around you as far as you've told them how you feel about them, and you have a lot of truth in your life about that. That's a very exciting place to come from. It's changed my life.
Truth can be, I understand, I agree with you.
I understand.
But sometimes, for instance, I just think, how can I go backstage and tell somebody that it was a terrible performance?
How do you deal with that?
That would be truth.
Yeah.
Well, what would I gain by that? If I went back and said, that was a terrible performance.
Well,
I could not teach them anything.
But when you're going to be directing, or whatever you're going to be doing, when you can say to that person, or even in your own life, when you can say to that person, this is how I feel about the situation, or how I feel about what you did at this time. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, even when, and I feel, even though we haven't talked about this, I feel that you do that. You'd almost have to in order to come to the place that you've been.
My sense of truth is very keen. Yes, it's very real for me. I live in truth. I would rather deal with a thief than a liar.
Yeah.
Because I know that a thief will steal from me. I never know when a liar is going to lie. It's a very important thing. My sense of loyalty and friendship is very strong.
Your friends are strong and with you.
And I love my friends. I do love my friends. And they give me back something that I think is terrific. Friendship is, and love is wonderful. You know, it really is wonderful. And I mean giving. I don't mean just to give and no. I take as well.
You do. You take by giving.
Oh, absolutely.
And vice versa. I mean, it sounds trite sometimes, but that's exactly the way the damn thing works out.
I love to share I love to share my home, for instance, which I love very dearly, with my friends. And we have good times. And that to me is a wonderful way of spending an evening or an afternoon. Or I love my friends, period.
You enjoy
You know,
sitting around,
I do.
chatting,
Yeah.
talking with you.
Eating, drinking, giggling, laughing, sharing.
Yeah.
I'm also there for them when they need me. And they're there for me when I need them. But you have to get to a point where you're willing to say, help me, I need help. Often we're not.
What stops that?
A false pride.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't want people to see me feeling that
yeah.
I'm weak, or what's weak? A pain is pain. Hurt, you're hurt, you know. You're in a bad place. If you share it with someone, if you had the courage to share it with someone.
Not just from a self-pitying standpoint, like
No,
we were
it doesn't
talking
make any
about.
difference,
Yeah.
even if you did do it on a self-pity. In expressing it out of your body, it takes it away.
Yeah.
It just releases it, because if you keep it down in there, you're just sitting around and you're a body full of very unpleasant feelings. And you have to get it out. And that's why I think so many people who are inactive are depressed, because inactivity often causes depression. So when I say get off your bum and get out there, I really mean that. To do something, anything at all.
How do you see your profession, Doris? Acting as a profession, the people, the actors and actresses in them, as a happy lot, as a strange, as a... What are your perceptions? I think
it's a very difficult lot, because I think it's a
What is being a performer?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, man.
That's
yeah.
heavy. No, there are so many levels of that, you know.
Yeah.
To me, it never ceases.
What is to you, yeah.
To me, it never ceases that when I walk into a theater, a live theater, and the lights go to half, something magical happens in me. It doesn't make a difference whether I'm on the stage or in the audience. I prefer being on the stage, but something magical happens. It just transcends any other feeling that I know.
You know you're in your proper place.
Yes, and I then begin a memory that is there forever. Sometimes it's a horror. I mean, if it's but it certainly is a memory. You know, acting is wonderful. Again, I think it can relate to any form of life and any kind of career. I used to act, hoping that everybody out there would love me.
And that was your motivation?
That was my motivation.
That's mine.
It's wrong. Of course, you have to start off that way. You don't know.
That's the only place I knew where I didn't know that it could be so fulfilling.
Well, you have to know that to be an actor, you've got to be a little crazy, because you're putting your life on the block daily to be rejected. Daily. I mean, there's nothing worse than having to stand on an empty stage in a theater with one work light above you and looking out into a dark house, trying to find whoever, 4, 5, 10 people out there who are listening to you. You're auditioning for them. I mean, that's the worst. That's the pits, you know. And going back.
And you dealt with that.
Oh, sure.
And let it have some difficult things happen.
Oh, I mean, you're terrified. You shake. You're afraid. You know that they see you shaking. Your voice catches. It's not full. It's not you know. It's not direct. And for instance, the writer has taken 2 or 3 years to write that script. Let's say, or 2 minutes, like.
Yeah.
Not 2 minutes, but Neil Simon just writes the most wonderful scripts in a much shorter space of time. But whatever, a lot of energy and talent and